Hi, I'm Sterling. Come on in. The water's dark, but it's probably fine. Thanks for joining me. This is a story about nobility, injustice, and professional pride. It is titled Gruel and Cruelty. Every night for 2 and a 10 day, around the time the house bells tolled the end of dusk, Kenner Halloran ate a bowl of thin porridge with a small, vicious smile on his red patrician lips. I watched him do it, hiding behind the invisibility afforded by my serving girl clothes. Gruel's not supposed to be a food for nobles except when they're sick. Kenner ate it anyway, even when he wasn't. Well, guess it depends what you mean by sick. I think all nobles are sick in their ways, some worse than others. Not always their fault. None of us asked to be born. Not how, not why, not where. And gods know not to whom either. Imagine what a world that would be. Porridge, though. That's a choice, especially for an aristocrat with finer options just a harsh whisper or curt word away. Would be a choice for me, too, when I'm home. The guild pays well, and their hall has excellent banquets, better than the ones I've been serving food at the last 2 10 days. I hadn't eaten porridge since the end of my apprenticeship, and after this job, I probably never will again. Kenner wasn't my assigned target in this house. That'd be his father, Lord Tevereth Halloran. All power to his blood from forebears to posterity. May he rest in shit. Though that last bit comes from bitter whispers rather than heraldry. Kenner wasn't my assigned target, but he was a permitted one. And good thing too, because he turned out a lot more useful dead than he ever was alive. Helped me wrap up some additional business even. I'll get to that. The gruel wasn't prepared for Kenner himself, or at least that's how it started. By rights, it was a serving girl's evening meal, but of course there are no rights for serving girls, not in a fey-touched great house like the one infested by the Halloran clan. At least not when weighed against the whims of a man like Kenner. He wanted something from her. She was reluctant to give it. He punished her, and then got it anyway. No justice for nobles, unless it comes from other nobles, and even then it's incidental, like when I killed Kenner and his dear old dad. They both deserved to die. But I'm an agent of business and vengeance, silver and rage, not cosmic reparation. The serving girl had a name, still does, but I aim to preserve her privacy. She's done nothing to deserve a place in such a sordid story. We used to chat when we could rest a moment away from overseeing eyes, and I still think of her fondly. Left her a small portion of my job fee. Hope she made good use of it for escape. Anyway, I know what you might be thinking. I killed Kenner by poisoning his stolen porridge, bypassing all the precautions high fae nobles take with their food, because they're all too aware of the existence of people like me. And you'd be partly right. 1/3 correct, I suppose. Maybe 2/3. See, outright poison in the gruel might be traced back to me through all kinds of expensive but very doable divinations, and might also kill the gruel's rightful owner, risking the lives of one vicious killer and one innocent, both of which I very much wish to preserve. But the poisoner's art is a delicate one, and some of the best preparations come in parts. The blood toxin I wanted for my particular purposes, which went a ways beyond the House of Halloran, was a tripartite poison. 1 part is harmless, 2 will kill you slow over a dozen moons, 3 will turn your blood to a river of fire, stoked further if you're fey-touched, like all great houses claim to be. I put 1 part in the porridge, doing the serving girl no harm, and the 2nd part in the exotic honey Kenner always put on the porridge when he stole it. What? You didn't think he was going to eat peasant food plain, did you? That did seem a risk. What if he taunted his victim by giving her a small taste of what she'd never otherwise have? But Kenner wasn't inventive enough for that, thank the wicked gods. The 3rd part I didn't use on Kenner at all, because I stabbed him to death in an alley. That was easy. Kenner was a 3rd son, and was therefore largely disposable apart from his fey-touched blood, and therefore allowed to go out for all kinds of mischief and debauchery. Being found bleeding out next to a public house of spectacularly ill repute caused immediate alarm, but no great suspicion. Not really an unusual way for 3rd sons to go out. The alarm was for his blood, which his father Tevereth drank the moment his wayward son's corpse could be drained. Fey-touched blood belongs to the family, which means it belongs to the patriarch, which means it must be preserved in him whenever possible. He didn't have time to get sick from the poison in his son's veins because I stabbed him to death in his chambers. This was hard, and I was almost caught because one of the servant girls tried to rob him while he was bloodsick. I hid the dagger just in time, then stuck it into his heart after sending her away. Wanted to make it clear exactly how he died, from a clean blade, because the house that hired the guild was going to want his blood when they attacked that night, fortify their veins with more power and prestige. I opened the gates for them and slipped away before they could see me. I didn't want them to know who I was, because I stayed to help serve their victory banquet. Swords cut both ways, and so does the guild. A job is a job. It was a wonderful banquet. I put the third part into almost everything. Hey, thanks for listening. That was Gruel and Cruelty, a piece I wrote for a writing contest and now reaching your ears here. There are links in the description if you'd like to read more, and if you'd like to hear more, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep you posted.